7. Okay, take a look at this. If I asked you right now, don't read any of those questions over there. Don't read anything yet. Just ask. I just want you to answer this. If I said this graph right here is your function f of x, okay? This is your function. If I said what's f of What's f of 3? Can you guys make a guess? By the way, every 2 is 1.
Negative 3.
2 what? 2.5. Okay, here's 3.
Oh, wait.
So I go up, I go up. I'm not hitting it quite yet. I'd say
Like 10.
Oh, right here. You think it's about 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my thing. I don't even care what it is. You're saying 10, you're saying whatever, 7, 8, 9. Here's what I want to ask you now. Is it positive or is it going to be a negative number?
Positive.
Okay, it's going to be positive, right? Okay. Good. So what's this? What's this going to be? F of 1 right here. If you come down, you go this way, it looks negative, doesn't it? Okay. All right. So can you tell me this? Because you're talking and I'd rather have you not. Can you tell me this? F of what is going to be 0?
0.
Okay, you say f of 0. So if I put in 0, I get out 0. Is he right?
Yes.
You're agreeing with yourself?
Well, I didn't say it.
Oh,
He and Hunter were the one that said it, and I'm agreeing with
Who's
that.
he?
Kyle
His
and
name's
Hunter.
Kyle.
Is that the only answer?
But
Yes.
I think there's more, Mason. Positive, negative 2. Okay. So he says positive 2. Right there. Yeah. So that also equals 0. And he also said negative 2, right? So I guess I could do this. Okay. So the information I want you to pull out of a graph is simply this. When looking at a graph, please know that when you say f of 3, you're going to get a positive. F of 1, you're going to get a negative. F of 2, you're going to get 0. All you really need to know today is simply this. Where do I get my positive answers? What x's give me positive? What x's give me negative? And what x's give me 0? And the reason I'm saying that to you is because you're going to do inequalities today. You're going to basically do less than and greater than. So if I do this, if I go like this to you, x squared plus x plus 6 is greater than 0. I'm asking for what x is, when I plug them in, will be greater than 0. Well, remember, over here, this was what? This was f of x, which is really just what?
why?
Y. So what x's will give me y's that are greater than 0? When I say greater than 0, you're thinking what?
Positive.
They have to be positive, right?
Oh, really?
Okay, what does this have to be?
Negative.
They have to be negative. Good. Okay. So when you do it today, it's simply going to be this. What x's give me positive y's? What x's give me negative y's? That's all you got to think of. Okay, let's go back and answer this question. Is f of negative 1 positive or negative? Don't say it. Think about it. You got 5 seconds. Morgan, what is it? She says positive. Well, let's look. F of negative 1 is right about here. Go up, go up, go up. Hit it. What's the y value? I don't even care what the number is. It's positive. Okay, good. Next. Answer the question. Don't say it. Okay, so the question is basically this. Is f of 4 greater than 0 or is f of 4 less than 0, Molly?
Greater than 0.
She says greater than 0.
I agree with that.
So, whoops, sorry, wrong color. She says this. Is it?
Yeah.
Take a look. First of all, f of 4 is about right here. Now, where's the graph?
Up there.
way up there.
What if it came back
That's a
down?
positive, no, because this is considered end behavior. Okay, so positive is way up, I mean, it's obviously positive, so she got that right. Okay, keep going. When does f of x equal 0? And I kind of already answered this for us, didn't I? Isn't it right here? When will your function equal 0? So when will y be 0? When x is what?
Negative plus or minus 2 and 0.
Okay, good, right? I'm just asking you to read the graph, okay? Keep going. Now the next question says, over what intervals, hang on, over what intervals, now when you hear this in your book, they're talking about the intervals, the x intervals, so these are x values,
Negative infinity to
okay? What x values give us values that the y's will be what? Less than 0.
negative infinity to -2 and 0 to 2.
Okay.
Second that.
Okay. So now let me do this. Would you agree with this? That since this says less than 0, this is negative. Would you agree all these y values this way are negative? Okay. So all these y values will be less than 0. All these y values are going to be what?
Less than 0.
Less than 0. Now, when your book says over what intervals is this going to happen, you say just what Hunter said. From negative infinity, all of these x's will give us what?
Negative number.
Negative numbers. Okay, so it's negative infinity to what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2, parentheses. Okay, so this is an answer. This is your answer today. Yes, sir.
Why is negative 2 included if that is a 0?
If that is not included. A parenthesis means it's not included. Bracket means it's included, and I was going to get to that next. Okay, comma. What else? From here to here.
0 to 2.
0 to 2. Okay. There you go. Now, Davidson, he spoiled my surprise by saying this, but I was going to tell you brackets mean, if you have a bracket, it means 0 actually works. Now, if you look at 0, if you plug 0 in, you get what?
0.
Is 0 less than 0? No. So it's parentheses. But if it would have been this, guys, with an equal sign, then you'd have to do what?
Bracket.
Bracket, because bracket means it's included. It is part of the solution set. Okay, would you agree I'm done?
Yeah.
No? What else works?
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, what else? What other x's actually give you negative answers? I don't think there are any. What do these x's give us?
Positive.
Positive.
And these x's.
Positive.
So that would be the answer if we're going to do greater than, right? Okay, so if we do greater than 0, that would be, when are my y's greater than 0? For what interval?
Negative 2 and 0.
Negative 2 to 0.
And 2 to positive infinity.
2 to positive infinity?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, here, just a quick comment. Do you know that last year when you were sitting in Algebra 2, you said this last year, but you said it like this. All x's that work in my problem are going to be greater than what? But less than what? 0. So last year you said your answer is this. And now this would be all x's are what?
Greater than 2.
Greater than 2. That's it. So last year you probably said something like this as your solution set. Okay? But this year, your book talks about what?
Interval.
Intervals. Now intervals are what x's actually are the answers. From here to here works, and from here forever to the right works. Okay? I'm done if you're ready. Should we move on?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I'm ready.
Okay. Next is this. This one actually says, use your calculator to determine the intervals where this works. This is very difficult. You need your help from the calculator. Go. saw that. Okay. Now, when it said 0 on the right side, guys, think of 0 as your y value. When are you going to get y values less than what? Y
Zero.
values less than 0. So you're looking for what?
Negative numbers.
Negative numbers, exactly. So we're looking for negatives. This is just practice, putting your function in. Okay, you did it, right?
Uh-huh. Folded.
How many people have it in front of them? I have the picture in front of me. Got it. Okay. Watch this. I think this is. Oh, let's go here. Okay. Is that your look?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to blow that up bigger because it's hard to see. So I'll go like this. My answer is kind of goes like this. Okay. There. I just kind of I widened it out a little bit. Now here's the deal. It's the same as the previous slide. What's probably the most important points up here? The zeros. There you go. So you need, right now guys, to figure out that 0, that 0, that 0, and that 0 with the help of your calculator. How do you do it? Second calc, and what's the word we're looking for?
0.
Number 2, 0. Go find your zeros.
Got it.
And then once you get them, can you round to the nearest, let's say 100th, and then just tell me what they are? Okay, if you're lost, this is what we just said. Go like this. Second, calculate. Number 2, get yourself a 0. I'm going to go get that 0, so I'll go to the left of it. Enter. To the right of it. Enter. Guess. Enter. And it says about negative what? 0.65? Okay. I did one of them for you. You do the others. This one's negative 0.65. Once you get the other 3, just start saying them out loud. And you don't have to be shy. Anybody can say it.
Negative 2.4.
Negative 2.4.
Down to the 100.
Okay, for what then? 3? Okay. Okay, right there.
2.2.
Is that this one?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
2.22.
And 0.855.
0.85. Okay, all right.
Good job, Paul.
Good. Good or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Whoops.
here's the deal. You look at this graph and you basically are asking this question. What x's, what do I put in for this function? So that when I put it in, I get numbers that are less than 0. Well, that would be negatives, right? So you kind of look at it and go, where is my function negative? All these y values are what?
Negative.
Negative. These are positive. These are what?
Negative.
Yeah. Now the question becomes, what x values created negative y values? From what to what?
Negative 2.3.
Yeah. Okay, so you'd say negative 2.43 to what? Negative 0.65.
Yeah.
Comma. What's the other interval?
0.85 to 2.22.
0.85 to 2.22. Good? Right? And really, that's all it is, guys. If the equal sign would have been there, let's just pretend. There's an equal sign there. Well, that would mean what x value is also equal to 0? Aren't all these numbers equal to 0?
Yeah.
All these numbers you see up here equal 0. So then you'd have to do what? Bracket, bracket. All of these would be brackets if what? if it was equal, okay? Did you catch that? But really the answer to this problem is not brackets, it's what?
Parentheses.
Okay, so really these are all gone. I don't want you to get confused if you're watching the video, okay? Because I know a bunch of you go home at night and watch these videos, right? Okay.
Paul does.
Am I? YouTube Painter, there you go. Okay. Oh, is there one more below?
No.
No. Okay, next. Without the use of your calculator, determine the intervals that satisfy that problem.
Factor it.
My question is, what's the most important part of this graph?
The factors.
The zeros.
Zeros. How do you get the zeros?
Factor.
Factor. Do it. Go. So I'll write you a quick little note. Factor, then find what?
Zeros.
Zeros. Try it. This one's not a bad one to factor. It goes pretty quick. I think most of you are half done or done. Do you have it?
I have
Kyle, do you have it? Your hands up. How do I factor it, Kyle?
to go next.
Take out the max.
They go to next, okay? What's left?
X squared minus 2x minus 8.
Inside, look inside. Trinomials factor into binomials typically, right?
Minus 4 plus 2.
Next what?
Minus 4 x plus 2.
Okay. Good. Zeros are
0,
4 negative.
4, -2.
okay. So these are your zeros, but zeros are really just what?
X-intercept.
X-intercepts. Okay. So I go like this. Okay. Let's see here. So I go 0 is a 0. 4 is a 0. -2 is a 0. Okay. Now you understand there's a picture here, right? There's a polynomial graph going on.
And behavior.
The thing is, you don't need your calculator, and you don't need, are you listening? You don't need to plug in numbers. If you think of all the stuff you've learned in chapter 2, the first thing we talked about was and behavior. Look right here, guys. Is that up, up, down, 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 up, or up, down?
Down on the left, up on the right.
Down on the left,
Up on the right.
up on the right. Good. So this is how the graph looks, right?
Yeah.
Now here, think about this now, the word multiplicity. Look at your factors. What's the exponent here? Here. Here. All your multiplicities are odd. What does odd multiplicity do?
It bounces.
It does not bounce, it goes through. Okay, if it goes through, all you need to do is make sure you go through, you go through, you go through. There. I don't care how high it goes. All I care about is this. See this interval from here to here? What are all your y values here?
Positive.
These are all positive, right? Okay. Okay, what about from here to here?
Negative.
These are all negatives. I should have did this in a different color. My fault. So it's strong blue. It's negative. Okay, let's go back to green. Green is positive. Where else is it positive?
After
4 up, right? That's all positive. And this is all negative. Right here. Okay, but the question becomes what?
where's it positive?
Where's it positive? Look, right here. This is where is it positive?
Between -2 and 0. It's from 4 to infinity.
-2 to 0, yep. And 4 where? To infinity. Okay, so your answer would be what? My interval, and by the way, interval means what x's work. We might make intervals will be -2 to what? 0. And 4 to infinity. Should I have brackets or should I just leave it parentheses? No brackets. You did not have an equal sign. But if you had an equal sign, you'd have brackets. Except where would you not have a bracket? Infinity. You never put a bracket around infinity. Because that's not an end point. That's a forever. You good? All right. I'm only going to ask you one question about this. We're not doing this. Look at that function. And then the next question is, what's the first step?
Factor.
No.
Make it equal to 0.
Make it what?
Find zeros.
0.
No, what'd you say?
Like, equal to 2.
Okay, okay, you didn't say that. You said make it equal to 0. So he's right. Kyle says make that 0, guys. Bring the 2 over and it becomes what?
Negative 7.
-7. So here's what you do first now, right? And then you find the zeros. You look at end behavior. You look at where's it positive, where's it negative. Then you answer the question. Good?
Yep.
So when you see this in your book, you got to get 0 on one side. Okay? All right, next. Oh, this is just a quick summary of what we just did. Okay, so it says what here? Factor, whoops. Factor the polynomial into the key numbers. What do I mean by that? Key numbers.
Zeros.
Zeros. Did you write that down?
Yeah.
Get rid of key numbers because you need to know, well, what are your key numbers? Go find your zeros is what I'm trying to tell you. Plot them on a number line. Well, the x-axis is a number line. So let me just pretend I got 1 is a 0, 4 is a 0, and -3 is a 0. Plot them on a number line. Everybody with me? Test a number in each interval to find its sign. Do you really need to test a number?
I actually multiplicity.
No.
Multiplicity.
You just got to look at the end behavior. And does it cross? Or does it bounce? You just really need to know that kind of stuff. So when your book says test a number, what your book is saying is this. Your book is saying, well, why don't you try -2? If -2 is positive, put a plus there. Then you kind of know it does this, right? If you try like, what's between here and here? 3? If you try 3 and you get a negative answer, put a negative sign. Then you know it does that. What if you try 5 and it gets you a negative answer? Then it bounces, yeah. Whoops, sorry. It bounces. But here's the deal. You don't need to try numbers. Because if you listen to what we said, and behaviors first, then look at multiplicity. Multiplicity tells you if you go through or you bounce. Now, if you don't trust yourself, then plug in what? Test a number in between each interval and see if you have a positive or a negative. Consolidate your findings to what? To write your intervals. Intervals are your what? These are your answers. When you're all done, your answer should say from -5 to -2. And from 7 to positive infinity. Something like that. Okay, hopefully I didn't confuse on you this last part. It's really exactly what we did. We looked at the book last period and we said, let's consolidate, let's bring it down a little bit. Let's go this. Okay? So there's your assignment today. Concentrate on every third problem, start with 9, go to 33.
Mr. Painter,
Okay?
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can. Everybody good? Please go to work if you are not done with 2-6. You still have 10 minutes, and let me get me to your desk. Let me stop this really quick.